Well. We have some interesting Nintendo Switch 2 updates today. Even one where it's a rumored game that will be a very big deal for a lot of people if this ends up being true. But before we jump in today's Nintendo Switch 2 news, y'all already know I'm about to ask, we are so close to 18,000 subscribers. We're trying to hit it before I head to New York City on May 27th. If you guys are not subscribed to the channel yet, I would greatly appreciate it as we're trying to hit that. We've been uploading every single day, and we're going to be filming in New York City in front of the Switch 2 line at the Nintendo New York store. It's going to be a blast. Without further ado, let's jump right into the news. Okay, let's start into the big one. Red Dead Redemption 2 is reportedly coming out this year for the Nintendo Switch 2. Now, this is something that has been leaked earlier this year, as there was this big, I think it was a French retailer that was showing Nintendo Switch 2 URLs or SKUs of pre-orders of like accessories, games, all that type of stuff. And one of the games that was leaked, or it wasn't necessarily leaked, but it was leaked that Rockstar had a SKU for the Nintendo Switch 2. And everyone has been thinking it was Red Dead Redemption 2. And now there's one of these, I guess it's more of a credible Rockstar Games leaker that is reporting that there is a Red Dead Redemption 2 next-gen update that is dropping towards the holiday season. And on top of that, Red Dead Redemption 2 will be dropping later this year for Nintendo Switch 2. Now, I think one of the most interesting things about this game coming to the Nintendo Switch 2 is I'm really curious to see how this will be running. As we've seen with the Steam Deck, it runs okay on Steam Deck. I feel like with it being on Nintendo Switch 2, it's supposed to be a little bit more powerful. Are they going to be able to optimize it better than what it was for Steam Deck? Is it possible we see Red Dead Redemption 2 run 60 frames per second with the other versions? Because that is going to be the big thing that they're promoting with the PS5 and Xbox Series X versions of Red Dead Redemption 2. Either way, I am very pumped to be playing Red Dead Redemption 2 on the Switch 2, as I've always considered this to be one of the best video games that I have ever played. I think Arthur Morgan is one of the best written video game characters out there, and I'm very much looking forward to playing this game again. Now, I think this is probably going to happen during the holiday season if this rumor is true, and I'm honestly very pumped. That is a big third-party game to have, especially Rockstar Games is supposedly having another big game come out later this year, which is the GTA 4 remaster, which is rumored for Nintendo Switch as well. Alright, we actually have an update regarding the physical games of Nintendo Switch 2. Now, there's been a lot of speculation if the box arts for Nintendo Switch 2 games are going to be bigger or smaller than the Switch 1 cases, and we have now screenshots of the display cases over in Japan, and it is actually the same size as the Switch 1 case. The Switch 2 cases are completely red. If you open the inside of it, it is all red, which indicates we are not getting any more reverse art for the Switch games, which I think some people are going to be pretty disappointed, but I would say honestly 99% of the games that the Switch had, if it had reverse cover art, most of the time it was not great. Now, there are great reverse cover arts out there, I'm not denying that, but I'm just saying a majority of what took advantage of this never worked out pretty well. So this doesn't bother me really. In fact, I'm actually excited about it. As y'all know, I love red, so having red cases, oh my gosh, that's gonna be absolutely incredible. And I'm glad to see that it is the same size as the Switch 1 cases, because that means I'm gonna have plenty of room. I just gotta focus on moving this stuff down there, but we're gonna get through it. I'm not getting a new shelf. Do not ask for it in the comments, guys. I have no space for a shelf. Where do I have another shelf? Where can I put one over here, guys? Don't be like, oh, you could probably find some way to put a shelf right here. No, that's not happening. Either way, I think this is super exciting to see that it is the same exact size, especially since the stuff that we saw previously kind of suggested that the cases were going to be wider and thicker, which good to know that that's not the case here, and it's just the same size as the Switch 1 case. Okay, I gotta talk about this. This feels like this is industry planted. Why are all these third-party developers hyping this up? Okay, so we're talking about Fast Fusion again. The developers decided to talk about the challenges of working on Nintendo Switch 2 and how game share is one of the coolest things they have the opportunity to work on, and is excited to see what comes out of this. What is going on here? You have, I believe it was the Hogwarts Legacy team that was hyping up game share. You had EA hyping up game share. Every creator's voice, Square Enix, they're like, oh man, I am so excited for players to utilize Final Fantasy VII in its game share. This is going to open the door to so many new fans. What is going on here? What new fans? 2 frames per second? What is going on? This is like industry planted that these third-party developers must be paid to be talked about how game share is, because game share literally is one of the worst things Nintendo has come due to the fact that it is 2 frames per second. I'm not even joking. You are not going to be able to notice anything. You're going to be seeing a cutscene from your friend's point of view, 2 frames per second. Like a crazy death scene could be happening, and because of the 2 frames per second, it just went by just like that. Because, yeah, no, I don't know what's going on. I think this is the weirdest thing ever. I've noticed that every creator's voice is talking about game share. I'm noticing that Fast Fusion developers are talking about game share. What is going on here? Are you being paid to talk about this? Are you being forced to? Blink if something's going on. We're not judging, but we want to know, because game share, there's no way that this is this good. I don't even see how this could be exciting if you have Discord, for example. Industry planted, that's all I'm saying. I don't even remember. Is it game share, game chat? What is it that they've been hyping up? It's weird names that Nintendo's doing with this. Game chat, game share. It's the same thing, in my opinion. Okay, this one's a little bit of a weird one, but I figured I would bring it up because I do know a lot of people really like this on Switch 1, and for the Switch 2, you might be wanting this. I don't know. Suikoden has been confirmed to be on sale right now as a pre-order on the eShop if you wanted the Nintendo Switch 2 edition of the game. You can pre-order it and save 10 bucks. I don't know if many people are going to care about this, because I feel like a majority of the people are already going to own the game, but maybe there's going to be people out there that are double dipping, because there are some crazy features to this game. It's just, to me, I think it's annoying that you have to buy the game all over again to get these features. There's no upgrade path, and I'm hoping that Konami changes that as we go into the fact that Hogwarts Legacy didn't seem to have an upgrade path, and now it does, so maybe Konami will change their mind. I don't know, but as of right now, that's the only discount you got, and it's not even a discount, it's a pre-order thing. It's not if you own the game or not. There should be some sort of discount if you already own this game. They need to do something about this. Okay, so we've talked about this before. People were concerned that maybe there was no additional stock happening on June 5th of the Nintendo Switch 2 because of how the pre-order situation is. It looks like there is no more pre-orders. However, GameStop has confirmed that there will be additional stock at every GameStop available the day before on June 4th. They're saying that you can go ahead and get in line at GameStop. 3 p.m. is when the quote-unquote pre-order goes live, to where you can go ahead and secure the purchase for you to get a Nintendo Switch 2 for the midnight release later that day. So all the additional stock that GameStop has for the Switch 2 will be available June 4th at 3 p.m. in the store. Go check out your local GameStops if you do not have a pre-order yet. That is going to be your best bet. They have not said how much is available. People are misreading the tweet, thinking that you can just go into the midnight release in hopes to get the Switch 2. Your best bet is to go at 3 p.m. to go ahead and get the pre-order, the little ticket. I forgot what GameStop's official terms for this is, but I've done many midnight releases where I have to do stuff like this. Just show up at 3 p.m. Do not attempt it at midnight, not knowing if you have a chance or not. You go at 3 p.m. at your local GameStop. If not there, go to the next one. There's going to be plenty of stock. Just trust me on this. Okay, I know I was just out here saying that Nintendo Switch 2 game chat, game share, all of it is like industry planted, and I still agree with that. However, I will say for the first time ever, Nintendo has actually done something pretty cool with the game chat feature, and that is they're actually going to have text-to-speech mode on for that, and on top of that, you can actually use texting on there as well. Not texting, live subtitle options. Sorry, I don't know why I called it live texting. I do think that is a pretty unique feature to have. However, this feature is still industry planted. Everything that they got going with the game chat, These developers are being forced to talk about it. I'm telling y'all, 2 frames per second. I mean, it's great having this option to have the subtitles and the text-to-speech, but you're not really going to see much because, again, it's 2 frames per second that is being shown off. Even with the camera, it's 2 frames per second. So, I mean, I don't know. Am I hating too much here on this? I think this is a great option. Great to have this feature right here within game chat. Let me make that very clear. I'm just saying that in general game chat, industry planted, 2 frames per second, nothing exciting about this. Either way, I guess it's cool that Nintendo's implementing things. Maybe they can implement 60 frames per second onto game chat now. It also sounds like that USB keyboards are going to be a thing that will work onto the Nintendo Switch 2 dock. We've seen that sometimes happen with the Switch 1 depending on the type of keyboard it was working. So now I'm thinking that there'll be more options of keyboards to be working on the Switch 2 rather than select keyboards. So I think that's probably pretty cool. Speaking of keyboards, it is actually being reported that Fortnite is, again, reported, rumored, take it with a grain of salt, but that the Nintendo Switch 2 edition of Fortnite will actually be allowing you to have mouse controls as an option. If that ends up happening, I know all the Fortnite sweats are going to love the fact that you can use the mouse into a console version of the game. That's a pretty big deal for the competitive players. A lot of people feel that Fortnite with the keyboard and mouse is like the ultimate way to go to play that game. Me personally, I think a controller is the best way, but hey, I guess it's each to their own. It's just one of those things, I guess. But that is coming out supposedly. We're probably going to hear that pretty soon, especially if Fortnite's a launch title for the Switch 2. That's probably going to be available day 1. If not day 1, I expect that update to happen pretty soon. If it's not there day 1, gonna be honest, I feel like you're gonna hear about this Fortnite mouse control mode in a Nintendo Direct, most likely, because like I said, maybe not for us watching this video, a majority that is a very big deal and a big advertising feature that Nintendo could be using that would be making headlines. And for our last story, we have an update regarding Universal. Now, we talked about how that Universal talked about their upcoming movie releases. One of those was the Super Mario Bros. Sequel, and they gave a title for that into this article. They called it Super Mario World. Now they have since then removed that off of that article, which is having people wonder, hey, were they supposed to do this? They more than likely was not supposed to reveal that. And it also has people questioning that maybe that's not the movie title. I'm still thinking it's called Super Mario World, especially considering that the end credit scene of Mario Bros. Movie is Yoshi, so it makes sense because that's Yoshi's introduction into the series, or at least where the most Yoshi gets used. So it makes sense for this to be the case. However, I do feel like it was a slip up on their part, and this was probably something that was probably supposed to be kept until maybe September, because that's when I'm expecting the trailer to drop for the Super Mario Bros. Movie. Guys, that's everything I have for you. Please let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments down below. Make sure to backslash that subscribe button, like the video, check out the Twitter, check out the Discord server, check out the Instagram, all that good stuff in the description below. P.O. Box, Monado Marine membership, $5 a month, helps out the channel tremendously. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace. Man, the game chat is so industry planted, bro. It's like the hype for that is manufactured. I'm not even joking, bro. These third-party developers, they are like manufacturing the hype of game chat. Game share, game chat, whatever it is, it's garbage.